Hi, welcome to our channel of IGNOU audiobooks, Indira Gandhi National Open University, School of Education, SOE, Master's Degree Programs, Master of Arts, Distance Education, MADE, First Year. MDE 518 Educational Communication Technologies, Revised. Block-4 Interactive Delivery Methods. Unit 20, Learning Management Systems.
20.0 Introduction. In the Unit 9, we studied that learning is a networked system of learning that uses the power of the web to provide both synchronous and asynchronous mode of learning. It can deliver cost-effective, personalized, relevant, interactive learning anytime, anywhere. Learning has the power to transform how students learn in the new world where knowledge is important and change is constant. Learning is the continuous assimilation of knowledge and skills by learners, stimulated by synchronous and asynchronous learning events, which are authored, delivered, engaged with, supported, and administered using web technologies. Learning courses are hosted on web servers and always delivered in a web browser. The delivery of online courses started initially as static web pages plus use of email, discussion groups, etc., with occasional use of online quiz and assignments, etc. It became unmanageable for the teachers and institutions to keep record of student progress and their works. Students also faced difficulties in keeping record of passwords and login methods of different systems. Teachers faced difficulties in content creation and organization, as they required different software and tools. Realizing these problems to use the web as a delivery mechanism for teaching, new software emerged to manage the entire process of student enrollment to student performance testing. The first such software, named eCollege, was reported in 1996, when the University of Colorado used a web-based system to offer online programs. Blackboard, started at Cornell University, and WebCT, started at University of British Columbia, emerged in the year 1997. WebCT is now merged with Blackboard and represents a major share in the proprietary learning management system (LMS) market. However, with the emergence of open-source LMS such as Moodle in 1999, more and more educational institutions are preferring to use open-source LMSs. Though selection of right LMS should be dependent on the needs of the institution and the budget and expertise level available, Moodle is being used by over 4,000 institutions in over 203 countries. In this unit, we will discuss the features of LMS and other related technologies to help you understand its use in online learning. 20.1 Learning Outcomes. After working through this unit, you are expected to be able to distinguish between Learning Management System (LMS) and Learning Content Management System (LCMS). List the characteristics of a typical LMS. Select an appropriate LMS for a given teaching learning situation. Describe the advantages and disadvantages of using LMS and discuss the total cost of ownership of a LMS. 20.2 Learning Management Systems (LMS). One of the most recent innovations in distance education has been the implementation of course management or learning management systems that allow educators to develop and deliver instruction and learning opportunities in an organized and collaborative manner. These systems can incorporate a wide variety of materials, including text and multimedia resources such as learning objects obtained from various learning repositories. They can offer a variety of assignments that students can complete at a time that is convenient to them, working alone or with other students. Learners can collaborate on projects and mentor each other. Instructors can provide timely and constructive feedback. Through the use of course management systems, educators are able to deliver the same quality learning experiences to students who are on campus and students who are many kilometers away. A learning management system, commonly abbreviated as LMS, is a software application for the administration, documentation, tracking, and reporting of learning activities and events. Most LMSs are web-based, which facilitate anytime, anywhere, any pace access to learning content and administration. Some LMSs can also help us to deliver and manage instructor-led synchronous and asynchronous online teaching. In essence, an LMS is a strategic solution for planning, delivering, and managing most learning events, including online, virtual classroom, and instructor-led courses. The LMSs are also called content management systems. However, according to Chapman and Hall, 2001, they are designed for a much broader purpose and are used to create information portals for organizations and can serve as the foundation for the practice of knowledge management. Generally, LMS should be able to do the following: ASTD 2009. Centralize and automate administration. Use self-service and self-guided services. Assemble and deliver learning content rapidly. Consolidate training initiatives on a scalable web-based platform. Support portability and standards. Personalize content and enable knowledge reuse. 20.2.1 Features of LMS. Generally, LMS consists of a variety of features and EduTools, 2009, provides a comparison of both proprietary and open source products based on the features identified by the users. We have listed here some of the basic features of LMS based on EduTools. Learner tools. Communication tools. Discussion forum is a threaded online text conversation between participants. Discussion management includes all of the accessing and scheduling associated with running a discussion forum. File exchange tools allow learners to upload files from their local computers and share these files with instructors or other students in an online course. Note: file attachments to messages are part of internal email and discussion forums. Internal email is electronic mail that can be read or sent from inside an online course. Online notes journal enable students to make notes in a personal or private journal. Students can share personal journal entries with their instructor or other students but cannot share private journal entries. Real-time chat is a conversation between people over the internet that involves exchanging messages back and forth at virtually the same time. Whiteboard tools include an electronic version of a dry erase board, used by instructors and learners in a virtual classroom, also called a smartboard or electronic whiteboard, and other synchronous services, such as application sharing, group browsing, and productivity tools. Bookmarks allow students to easily return to important pages within their course or outside their course on the web. In some cases, bookmarks are for an individual student's private use, and in others can be shared with an instructor or amongst a group. Calendar, progress review tools enable students to document their plans for a course and the associated assignments in a course. Searching within a course is a tool that allows users to find course material based on keywords. Work offline, synchronize is a set of tools that enable students to work offline in their online course and for their work to be synchronized into the course the next time they log in. Sometimes students can download course content to their local computers and work offline. Orientation, help tools are designed to help students learn how to use the course management system. Typically, these tools are self-paced. Tutorials, user manuals, and email or telephone help desk support. Student involvement tools. Group work is the capacity to organize a class into groups and provide group workspace that enables the instructor to assign specific tasks or projects. Community networking tools allow students to create social ties, study groups, clubs, or collaborative teams without instructor intervention. Student portfolios are areas where students can showcase their work in a course, display their personal photo, and list demographic information. Support tools. Administration tools. Authentication is a procedure that works like a lock and key by providing access to software by a user who enters the appropriate user name, login, and password. Authentication also refers to the procedure by which usernames and passwords are created and maintained. Course authorization tools are used to assign specific access privileges to course content and tools based on specific user roles, e.g., students, instructors, teaching assistants. For example, students can view pages, and instructors can author pages. Registration tools are used to add students to and drop students from an online course. Administrators and/or instructors use registration tools, but students also use them when self-registration is available. Students can also be added to or dropped from the course. Hosted services means that the product provider offers the course management system on a server at their location, so the institution does Not provide any hardware. Course delivery tools. Test types indicate which types of questions the software supports. Automated testing management includes the control of when and where tests may be taken and under what conditions. Automated testing support includes system services for importing and exporting tests and test banks as well as statistical analysis of test results. Online marking tools enable instructors and assistants to evaluate and mark student work while online. Online gradebook includes supports for keeping track of student progress and work online in support of assigning course grades. Course management tools allow instructors to control the progression of an online class through the course material. Student tracking is the ability to track the usage of course materials by students and to perform additional analysis and reporting both of aggregate and individual usage. Content development tools. Accessibility compliance means meeting the standards that allow people with disabilities to access information online. For example, the blind use a device called a screen reader to read the screen, but web pages need to be designed so that screen readers can navigate it easily. The product provider self-reports that the software complies with the YWCAG 1.0 AAA guidelines. Course templates are tools that help instructors create the initial structure for an online course. Customized look and feel is the ability to change the graphics and how a course looks. This also includes the ability to institutionally brand courses. Instructional design tools help instructors creating learning sequences. For example, with lesson templates or wizards. Instructional standards compliance concerns how well a product conforms to standards for sharing instructional materials with other online learning systems and other factors that may affect the decision whether to switch from this product to another. Content authoring and integration in text, audio, video, graphics, animation and multimedia. Provision for student and instructor blogs and wikis. 20.2.2 Strengths and limitations. Strengths. The LMS has the following strengths. It provides a centralized learning environment to provide consistency in teaching and student assessment. It is available 24/7 to the learners, and multiple students can access the course content simultaneously. It provides simple, easy-to-use templates to help the teacher to develop software-related skills easily. It provides tracking of the students to know how they are performing, how much time they have been spending in the course pages and activities, etc. It saves teacher time to provide more quality time in class, as they can delegate some routine tasks to be done after the class using the LMS. It can provide collaborative group learning opportunity to the students. It gives one-stop solution to the learners as all related activities are done through the LMS, and the learners can depend on this as a guide to search and find information. Limitations. Many LMSs provide templates for the creation of online course content. Templates allow teachers to design and create courses easily and quickly in a familiar environment without the need for much training. Templates are acceptable where discussion and debate are central to understanding and knowledge building. However, they are rather insufficient when there is a need to develop knowledge of subject matter such as mathematics and science, which require illustration and demonstration. Most modern LMSs have the capability to collect, organize and report data on learners' activities. Tracking may include data on time spent on a learning activity, when it was started and completed, and number of attempts at an assessment item. But, tracking eliminates a key benefit of LMS, which is the creation of a safe environment that frees students from the fear of failure and the pressure of time that is endemic of a conventional classroom. Some learners who know that all their learning activities are being tracked and recorded may feel less comfortable experimenting, taking chances, and pushing the limits of their knowledge. It is possible that instead of learning from their own mistakes, which is quite effective way to learn, they will try to avoid making any mistakes at all. As users become more knowledgeable and comfortable with the use of LMS, they will demand many advanced features and functionality, including support for wireless devices, better collaborative learning tools, and better content management capabilities. The next generation of LMSs may have better functionalities, customizability, flexibility, interoperability, and scalability. Moreover, after users move beyond the thrills of the new technology, they will focus their attention on the educational functions of the tools. This will lead to the development of robust LMSs that are guided by pedagogical considerations and not by what the developers or the tools can do. 20.3 Learning Content Management Systems, LCMS. A learning content management system, LCMS, is a related technology to the learning management system. It focuses on the development, management and publishing of the content that will typically be delivered via an LMS. An LCMS is a multi-user environment where developers may create, store, reuse, manage, and deliver digital learning objects from a central object repository. The LMS cannot create and manipulate courses. It cannot reuse the content of one course to build another. The LCMS, however, can create, manage and deliver not only training modules but also manage and edit all the individual pieces that make up a training. LCMS applications allow users to create, import, manage, search for and reuse small digital learning objects. These objects may include media files developed in other authoring tools, assessment items, simulations, text, graphics. An LCMS manages the process of creating, editing, storing and delivering e-learning content. 20.3.1 LCMS versus LMS, similarities and comparison. Some systems have tools to deliver and manage instructor-led synchronous and asynchronous online training based on learning object methodology. These systems are called Learning Content Management Systems or LCMSs. LCMSs provide tools for authoring and reusing content as well as virtual spaces for student interaction, such as discussion forums, live chat rooms, and live web conferences. Despite this distinction, the term LMS is often used to refer to both an LMS and an LCMS, although the LCMS is a more recent development of the LMS. In essence, an LMS is software for planning, delivering, and managing learning events within an organization, including online, virtual classroom, and instructor-led courses. For example, an LMS can enable entities to align learning initiatives with strategic goals. The focus of an LMS is to manage students, keeping track of their progress and performance across all types of learning activities. It performs administrative tasks, such as reporting to teachers but isn't used to create course content. In contrast, an LCMS is software for managing learning content across an organization's various training development areas. It provides developers, authors, instructional designers, and subject matter experts the means to create and reuse e-learning content and reduce duplicated development efforts. Rather than developing entire courses and adapting them to multiple audiences, an LCMS provides the ability for single course instances to be modified and republished for various audiences, maintaining versions in history. The objects stored in the centralized repository can be made available to course developers and content experts throughout an organization for potential reuse. This eliminates duplicate development efforts and allows for the rapid assembly of customized content. Table 20.1 gives a brief summary of the comparative features of LMS and LCMS. Table 20.1 LMS versus LCMS. Look at the screen. 20.4 Criteria for selecting LMS. Selecting the right online learning management system and achieving a successful implementation is a big challenge. This is particularly true for organizations which have historically relied on conventional classroom-based approaches to learning and teaching. Evaluating the many associated issues regarding selection of LMS and ensuring that the organizational infrastructure is able to support it is a major challenge. Every institution will have different requirements, and therefore, one LMS may not be useful for all organizations, though there is always a bandwagon effect. People tend to buy or use a particular LMS because someone else have used it and has recommended the same. Though it may be a good approach to start with, it is not a good idea to implement the strategy for an institutional decision-making process. We recommend that you take a systemic view while deciding on the use of LMS institution-wide. The steps to be followed are as follows. Step 1. Form a course selection team in your institution by including teachers, who are knowledgeable about LMS and/or have some experience of using the same. If no internal expertise is available, it is also a good idea to have people from outside the institution to be member of the selection group. However, their number may not be more than the internal people, and no one in the group should have any conflict of interest. Step 2. Decide on the major goal of the institution to use LMS. It is essential that you are clear about why the institution wants to use LMS and why it wants to go ahead with this approach. This may not be a question in many institutions to address, but it is better to have clarity of this. One institution may want to improve teaching and learning by using LMS, other may want to increase its reach to more students. Both these goals would have different implications. One may require the LMS to be robust to handle more concurrent students, while the other may not require this. Step 3. List a set of criteria to evaluate the LMS. These criteria will be your first level of evaluation for assessing the LMS in the context of your organization. Some of these criteria may be cost of ownership, maintainability and ease of maintenance, usability, ease of use, and user documentation, user adoption, vendor profile, standards compliancy, learning object metadata integration, scalability, security, hardware and software considerations, multilingual support, etc. Step 4. List the requirements for the LMS in terms of the features that you would like to have. This will be your second level of criteria for selecting LMS. Categorize these requirements as must have, should have, and nice to have. For example, you may not want an inbuilt synchronous video conference option in the LMS, and you may like to put it as nice to have. While you want a variety of quizzes to be used, and you want this as a should have, that you may like to compromise on different types of questions only, and then you may like to have a feature like discussion forum as must have, on which you will not compromise at all. The requirement analysis and specification is unique to each institution, but as different department will have different needs, it is important to involve all stakeholders. However, it may be noted that it would be impossible to find the right LMS with all the features that you may like to have. So, you need to take decisions using some criteria. Step 5. Review the LMS options available by identifying candidate options and visiting their website to prepare a chart showing availability of different features as listed in your requirement document. Shortlist some of the LMS vendors. Step 6. Send request for proposals, RFP, to these identified vendors to give their quotes for deployment of the LMS with hosting option and without hosting option, for direct one-time purchase and for per-user license basis, for content conversion and for maintenance of the system. Step 7. Review the proposals received and select 2 to 3 vendors. Ask for demonstrations by the selected vendors. Take decision. Criteria for selecting learning management system. You may like to include some or all of the following questions in your criteria. Cost of ownership. 1. What are the costs for licensing, software, hardware and custom development requirements? 2. How fast can you be up and running? 3. What level of expertise is required? 4. What kind of support and assistance are available? Maintainability and ease of maintenance. 5. How many valuable resource hours will this take to administer and maintain at the server level and at the program level? 6. How granular and distributed is the administration? The more granular, the better. 7. Are all of the data processes automated and will they integrate easily with your other systems? 8. Does the program run on a server platform on which your staff already has excellent expertise? Usability, ease of use, and user documentation. 9. How available is documentation, how-to guides, training and online help? 10. How responsiveness will support be? 11. Will the program require lots of training or is it fairly intuitive to use? 12. How long will it take faculty to set up their courses at a minimal level? User adoption, vendor profile. 13. Will the vendor be around tomorrow? How much market share? 14. If the product is open sourced, is there a strong development community associated with the program? 15. Are comparable institutions currently utilizing the program? Openness. Note, this criterion is applicable to open-sourced LMSs only. 16. How open is the source code? 17. Is it written in a modular format that is designed for easy modification? And new, custom modules? 18. Are there clear code specifications for writing new modules? Standards compliancy. 19. Does the LMS adhere to specifications like SCORM, IMS, OKI, AICC? 20. Can the LMS import and manage content and courseware that complies with standards regardless of the authoring system that produced it? 21. Is XML support available? Integration capacity. 22. Has the application been integrated with other systems? 23. Does the solution allow for ready integration with other systems? Learning object metadata integration. 24. How available is compatible content? 25. What is the capacity to integrate with existing and newly created learning objects? Reliability. Hardware and software considerations. 32. Does it support multiple operating system platforms, including open-sourced OS? Linux, Windows? 33. What are the client browser requirements? 34. What are the database requirements? 35. What additional server software is required? 36. What are the hardware specifications? Multilingual support. 37. Does the system support additional languages? Checklist for features in Learning Management System. You may like to include some of the features for consideration in the LMS for your organization. We present to you a detailed checklist for your use in Table 20.2. Table 20.2. List of features in LMS. Features: yes, no. Administration. Manage user registrations. Set curricula, chart certification paths. Administer internal budgets, user payments, and chargebacks. Create standard and customized reports on individual and group performance. Reports should be scalable to include the entire workforce. Print certificates. Build schedules for learners, instructors, and classrooms. Security. Encryption, encodes and decodes messages. Ability to accommodate privacy. Note that full certificate SSL, a protocol that encrypts a single TCP session, is likely to be too slow for this purpose. Authentication verifies the identity of a user. Username. Registration integration, registration, prerequisite screening, cancel notification. Integration with other systems. Integration with HR systems. Integration with CRM systems. Student listing. Maintain student information. Course design, development and integration. Customizable look and feel. Support classroom and virtual courses. Course templates. Use of and access to learning objects. Web-based authoring. Support multimedia types. Accessibility compliance. Instructional design tools. Curriculum management. Easy navigation, linking. Easy course structuring. Extensible architecture. Support style sheets. Course monitoring. Course listing, catalog. Course descriptions. Schedules and availability control. Course usage tracking. Assessment design. Create test questions and facilitate test administration. Automated testing and scoring. Course path maintenance, path lists and diagrams. Competency mapping, skill gap analysis. Self-assessment. Online collaboration and communications. Community learning or collaboration components that support communication. Email, ability to integrate with emails sent from regular POP mail accounts. From learners not logged in real time. Chat rooms. Online support, help desk. File exchange. Online journals. Notes. Whiteboard. Discussion groups, forums. Productivity tools. Bookmarks. Calendar, progress review. Orientation, help. Search. Work offline, synchronize. 20.5 Total cost of ownership of LMS. Usually, institutions consider changing their LMS as the renewal date of their license expires or when they have been informed that the current version of their LMS will no longer be supported. Thus, institutions consider their options and may decide to switch from proprietary software such as Blackboard, WebCT to open source software such as a Tutor or Moodle. A few of the reasons for such switch are as given below. 1. The cost of the annual license for proprietary software keeps rising each year, while the cost of obtaining many open source LCMS and LMS is negligible. It is estimated that proprietary licensing fees may represent 20 to 25% of the total cost of software ownership. Note, however, that the cost of maintaining proprietary or open source software may be about the same, too, since users do not have access to the source code that supports proprietary software. They cannot add features to it. They cannot correct software bugs immediately. They can forward their request to the developer, who may or may not make the suggested changes. Revisions can take considerable time and the requester may be charged for the service. 3. Proprietary software may not be kept current. It may be designed to address the basic needs of some institutions, but not the more advanced needs of other institutions. Note, however, that open source software depends upon an active community of software users to keep the software current. 4. The license agreement that accompanies proprietary software may constrain how the software is distributed. If institutions want to distribute the software to students who have limited financial resources, the proprietary license agreement may prohibit this distribution unless an additional fee is paid. Thus, students in certain socioeconomic areas may not have the financial capacity to obtain proprietary software. The institutional purchase of this type of software may increase the digital divide, the gap between those who have access and can use information technology and those who cannot. This is a significant issue for many developing countries. 5. Decision makers should consider the cost of maintenance and support. When deciding to move to an open source environment, personnel must be hired to authorize access to the software, create course files, monitor the efficiency of the software, perform backups, and help people use the software. Open source software may first appear to be less expensive than proprietary software. However, over time, free open source software may be more costly if it is not robust and if it does not have the features students and instructors need. It must also be flexible, reliable, capable, and scalable. A software is robust if it can handle numerous and varied transactions at the same time. 20.6 Learning Management Systems. Examples. Educators can choose from several hundred CMS and LMS products. Below are examples of two well-known open-source course delivery platforms. A tutor is a web-based learning content management system that was initially developed by the Adaptive Technology Resource Center, University of Toronto, to offer maximum flexibility regarding accessibility and adaptability of online courses. It can be accessed by learners with disabilities who have access to assistive technologies. Moodle is a LMS that is guided by the social constructivist learning philosophy, i.e., learners construct new knowledge as they interact with their environment. When working with others, they can develop a shared meaning. The software comprises various modules that include assignments, chats, forums, glossaries, lessons, journals, quizzes, and resources. 20.6.1 Moodle. Website, http://moodle.org. Moodle is designed to support a style of learning called social constructionism. This style of learning is interactive. The social constructionist philosophy believes that people learn best when they interact with the learning material, construct new material for others, and interact with other students about the material. The difference between a traditional class and the social constructionist philosophy is the difference between a lecture and a discussion. Moodle does not require you to use the social constructionist method for your courses. However, it best supports this method. Moodle is primarily developed in Linux using Apache, MySQL, and PHP. Also sometimes known as the LAMP platform. It is also regularly tested with Windows XP, 2000-2003, WAMP, Solaris 10, Spark and x64, Mac OS X and NetWare 6 operating systems. Support for PostgreSQL, Oracle and Microsoft SQL Server is also available. The requirements for Moodle are as follows. Hardware. Disk space, 160 MB free, min. You will require more free space to store your teaching materials. Memory, 256 MB, min. 1 GB, recommended. The general rule of thumb is that Moodle can support 50 concurrent users for every 1 GB of RAM. but this will vary depending on your specific hardware and software combination. Or this includes hosting limits of PHP or MySQL on a hosting service, or the capacity can limit the number of users your Moodle site can handle. Software. Web server software. Most sites use Apache as the web server software. Moodle works fine under any web server that supports PHP, such as EASE. On Windows platforms. PHP scripting language. Please note that there have been issues installing Moodle with PHP Accelerator. There are currently two versions or branches of PHP available, PHP 4 and 5 Philippine pesos. See the PHP Moodle version requirements here. PHP settings by Moodle version. If you want to run Moodle on your own computer, please see installing Apache, MySQL and PHP for step-by-step instructions for installation on most popular platforms. Moodle enables you to add 5 kinds of static course material: text pages, web pages, links to anything on the web, a view into one of the course's directories, a label that displays any text or image. However, Moodle enables you to add 6 types of interactive course materials: assignment, uploading files to be reviewed by the teacher; choice, a single question; journal, an online journal; lesson, a conditional, branching activity; quiz, an online test; survey, with results available to the teacher and/or students. Moodle also offers 5 kinds of collaborative activities where students collaborate with each other. Chat, live online chat between students. Forum, you can have none or several online forums for each course. Glossary, students and/or teachers can contribute terms to site-wide glossaries. Wiki, a familiar tool for collaboration. Workshop, for peer review and feedback of assignments that they students upload. So far, we have listed 5 kinds of static course materials, 6 kinds of interactive course materials and 5 kinds of collaborative course materials. In addition, some of Moodle's add-on modules add more types of interaction. For example, one add-on module enables students and teachers to schedule appointments with each other. For more about Moodle, check the website. 20.6.2 Tutor. Website, http://www.atutor.ca. Tutor is an open-source web-based learning content management system. LCMS, LMS, and social networking environment designed with accessibility and adaptability in mind. Administrators can install or update Tutor in minutes, develop custom themes to give Tutor a new look, and easily extend its functionality with feature modules. Educators can quickly assemble, package, and redistribute web-based instructional content easily, import prepackaged content, and conduct their courses online. Students learn in an adaptive, social learning environment. Tutor requires the following to run in a web server. HTTP web server is required. We highly recommend using Apache. PHP version 4.3.0 for Tutor 1.6.2 and earlier. Tutor 1.6.3 requires 5 Philippine pesos. 2. Zlib, MySQL, MB string must be enabled. Curl must also be enabled for Tutor Social, MySQL. As of Tutor 1.6, MySQL 4.1.10 is required. For the learner end, Tutor makes use of many new HTML features that are only supported in current web browser. Though Tutor will function effectively in older or text-only browser, it strongly recommends updating your browser to a more recent version. Current versions of Firefox 2, Opera 8, and Microsoft Internet Explorer 7 work well with Tutor. Important Tutor features are as follows. For learners, social networking, teacher can turn on social networking within courses and create course networking groups to enhance class interaction. Security, login passwords are encrypted. Forgotten passwords must be reset rather than retrieved by email, removing the possibility they might be intercepted when being sent over the internet. My courses, instructors and students can manage the Tutor courses they teach and/or are enrolled in. Inbox, messaging, all users on an Tutor system have an inbox, through which they can send and receive private messages from other users. Messages sent are saved to sent messages, which remain for a set period before being deleted. Messages can be exported and saved. Externally, student profile, students can add personal information about themselves for other to see and include a profile picture, which is also displayed with forum posts. Adaptive navigation, learners can move through a tutor content using global, hierarchical, or sequential navigation tools. Work groups, learners can collaborate with others on course projects. Communicate as a group through the forums, share resources using the file storage, and work together authoring project documents. File storage, all users on an tutor system have their own file storage. Utility, file storage areas can also be shared across groups or an entire course. Version control can be enabled to keep track of drafts or changes to documents. Group blog, each group has access to their own blog, to which they can post public messages or private messages. Feedback, following an action, feedback is given on the status of the operation. This could be a success message, warnings to consider, or errors to fix. Preference settings, learners can control a tutor features and the theme a tutor is presented in. Communication tools, learners can communicate with others using a tutor's private mail, the discussion forums, the chat rooms, or the user's online tool. Students can communicate with those in other courses through a community forum. Subscribe to forums or topic threads to have forum messages sent by email. Content tracker, learners can keep track of the content pages they have visited. Test manager, learners can take tests, review test results, and keep track of their scores. Course guests can take practice tests. Glossary, words and phrases added to the glossary by the instructor can be accessed from terms embedded within content pages or viewed alphabetically in their entirety using the glossary tool. Links database, each course, and groups within courses, has a tool for collecting links to web-based information. Both students and instructors can add links. Course search, a search engine allows learners to search course content. Search for courses in the course catalog. For teachers, instructor a tutor handbook, a link to the full handbook is available on every screen. Guest access to courses, guests can be granted access to private courses. Guests can view, but not post content to a course. SCORM runtime environment. Particular course. Optionally display tools in the main navigation bar, or link them into the course homepage for quick access. Course Manage page, all a tutor tools can be accessed quickly from a central Course Manage page. Content usage, individual usage statistics can be reviewed to identify gaps in content coverage and the learning tendencies of each learner. Work Groups Manager, instructors can manually create or automatically generate work groups for a variety of purposes. Course tools, instructors have access to all the learning tools that are available to learners. File storage, the file storage utility can be used to store private files. Files to be shared with course members or group members, or used as a place to collect assignment submissions. Assignment Dropbox, extending the file storage, instructors can create file folders for collecting assignment submissions. A collection of assignments can be zipped together and downloaded. Content editor, instructors can create content in HTML or plain text. This content can be imported from a local editor or edited directly online. Release dates can be set to control when content is viewable to learners. Visual Editor, a JavaScript-based WYSIWYG editor, is available as an extension of the content editor so content creators can format course materials without knowing any HTML. Interoperable content, instructors can export or import content from or to a tutor as IMS, SCORM conformant content packages that can be viewed offline in the accompanying viewer, or imported into a tutor or another conformant learning system. Entire courses, or individual course units can be packaged for viewing or redistribution. Reading list, instructors can gather a list of resources, books, papers, URLs etc. related to topics in a course, and create a reading list based on those resources. Learning Objects Repository, search the tile Learning Objects Repository for course-related materials. Import or export content from or to a tutor. Backup Manager, the entire content and structure of a course can be backed up and stored on the tutor server, or downloaded and saved to Your local computer. Create a copy of a course as a master for future sessions, or move a course to a new location. News. And a number of open-ended question types. M, C, multi-select M, C, ordering, matching, and T, F questions are marked automatically. Self-marking tests can be created to provide students with instant feedback. Create surveys and link them to the course homepage. Select from a pool of questions to generate random question quizzes. Add questions to a question database, then select questions from the database to assemble a test or quiz. Polls. Instructors can create one-question polls to quickly gather student opinions. Forums. Instructors can create and manage multiple forums for each of their courses. Messages can be edited, deleted, locked from reading or replying, and stuck to the top of a thread list if a message is important. Administrators can create forums shared across multiple courses. Subscribe to forums or to topic threads to have messages sent by email. Course email. Instructors can send bulk email to course members, assistants, or both. Course properties. Instructors can view course login statistics, edit course properties, and send course-wide email messages. A default display language can be set for each course. Assign a course is public, protected, or private, or hide a course while it is being developed. Enrollment Manager. Instructors may import or export an enrollment list for staff keeping. Create an enrollment list online to add new students to a course. Automatically generate login names and passwords for students and send them by email when a student is enrolled in a course. Assign students as alumni so they can participate in discussions for future course sessions. Privileges. Through the Enrollment Manager, instructors can assign students access to various instructor tools, creating teaching assistants or co-instructors. For administrators, Module Manager. Administrators can install modules, enable and disable them, define a default module and menu configuration for new courses. Administrator's homepage. All administrator tools can be accessed quickly from a central administrator homepage. Patcher module. Administrators can install patches to keep their eTutor system up to date and secure. Administrator eTutor Handbook. Administrator documentation is linked from each section of the handbook to the screen eTutor it refers to. Multiple administrators. Create multiple administrator accounts, assigning specific privileges to each. Pretty URLs. Administrators can turn on Pretty URL to have URLs rewritten in a more readable form. When turned on, public courses in eTutor can be indexed by search engines. Master student list. Require newly created student accounts to be authenticated against a custom imported student ID, PIN paired list. Themes Manager. Easily create a custom version of eTutor by modifying or creating a theme. Assign themes to categories of courses. Automated installer and upgrade. A fast and easy way to install or upgrade eTutor. General statistics. View system usage statistics. Secure course content. Secure course content directory to prevent unauthorized access to course files. Instructor request. Review requesting instructor's personal information and assign instructor status so they may create courses. User Manager. Users on a system can be sorted, personal information can be viewed, and access privileges can be modified. Enrollment Manager. Administrators have all the same tools for managing course enrollments as instructors do, with the ability to manage students in any course. Course Manager. Much like the User Manager, courses on a system can be sorted, their properties modified, and their instructors managed. Create new courses and assign an instructor. Use course backups to generate initial content for a new course. Create shared forums for select courses, or create a community forum for all courses. Backup Manager. Generate backups of courses to create master copies. Download backups for safekeeping or to move courses to another eTutor server. Cron utility. Optionally schedule scripts to run at specific times. Use the cron utility to run the mail queue every few minutes. Use cron to generate statistics, create a system backup, or to send system reminders. etc. Course categories. The eTutor course browser includes a course category browser, so courses can be sorted into a custom-defined set of Categories, perhaps by department or topic or level. Themes can be assigned to course categories so all courses within a category look the same. Language Manager, import language packs directly into a tutor. Once imported, edit languages as needed. Create an tutor language pack by exporting the language from your tutor system. Courses can display multiple languages at the same time. 20.6.3 Other LMSs. Examples of other notable learning management systems are Blackboard Learning System, http www.blackboard.com/closing parenthesis. Claroline, http www.claroline.net/closing parenthesis. Ilias, http www.ilias.de/doku/closing parenthesis. Sakai Project, http sakaiproject.org/closing parenthesis. 20.7 Summary. Learning Management Systems, LMSs, are application software used on the web that comprises a suite of tools for learning and teaching online. Some of the widely known LMSs are Moodle, tutor, WebCT, Blackboard. Most LMSs have tools for creating content, organizing them and delivering online. LMSs also provide tools for communication among learners and also tracking and reporting their progress. An important limitation of LMSs is their tendency to emulate the conventional face-to-face, classroom-based learning and teaching process. The selection of LMS is a complex task and normally depends on strategic planning, budget, technological readiness and value systems of an organization. In this unit, we discussed about how you should select LMS for your organizations following a two-step criteria to list basic requirements and features and then decide on the appropriate LMS. We also discussed the concept of total cost of ownership of LMS. In fact, using open source LMS such as Moodle and eTutor has become popular, as they can be hosted in your institution server, and you do not need to pay any license fee. However, they require considerable institutional effort to maintain the system. On the other hand, there are also proprietary LMS such as Blackboard and others that allow you to host a course on their server on payment of fees. They even allow you to host the LMS in your own server on payment of fees, which is mainly per user based. We also highlighted the features of Moodle and eTutor to help you understand about the features of these LMSs. However, we suggest you to visit the website of different LMS to see the demos, documentation. Some even provide you to have your used account to create and test the software. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video with the next chapter.